This is me and my wife, and this is an old cabinet. These kinds of cabinets are really inexpensive to get. This one was only $30. If you look on Facebook Marketplace or something similar, I bet you can find furniture that you can modernize with a bit of paint. This is our first ever furniture flip, so here's what we're using. Primer, paint, wood filler and rollers. And if you have it, you can use a paint gun. This is what is called an HVLP gun. This particular one connects to the compressor and you pour the paint in the container. One thing to take notice of is that you might need to dilute it with some water if the paint is too thick. The first thing we did was to disassemble the whole cabinet. This one was pretty easy since it was only a couple of hinges to remove. In order to remember where everything sat, we stored all the hinges in the order they sat on the cabinet. Then we wiped everything down with a paint cleaner so that the primer will stick. We also filled any holes with wood filler. After that we gave the whole thing a sand down with a 180 grit sandpaper. The cleaning part is really key here because fat stains won't let the primer stick. We covered the parts we went painting with painter's tape and some plastic. Once that was done, we went ahead and painted with the primer. For this we used a foam roller. The primer we're using is called Zinsser and it's a shellac based primer. This particular primer doesn't need a very long drying time, so that suits us perfect. There are links to all the things we used down in the description. After the primer is set, we used a paint sprayer to paint the first coat of color, but it can also be done to a great finish with a foam roller or a nice brush. After the first coat of paint, we sanded the whole thing with the 220 grit sandpaper lightly, and then we went ahead and did the second coat of paint. We did encounter some issues with the paint sprayer since it was the first time using it. We did get some running of the color, but we managed to fix that with a paintbrush and some sanding and repainting. When the finish was dry, we went ahead and reassembled the cabinet and put the drawers in, and we were pretty pleased with the result. And my wife came up with an idea.
Maybe we should do a challenge.
Like a furniture flip challenge?
Yeah.
Game on!